What's up, guys? I figured to talk to y'all a little bit today about some of the stuff that's going on. We got plenty going on. Um, we got ICE and immigration and Save Act. They're trying to get the Save Act passed to show ID when you're voting and stuff. And for some reason, Democrats think black people don't know how to get to a DMV or can't afford a driver's license or an ID. So they're, of course, on their savior wagon trying to save the world or whatever they're trying to do. But we got the Epstein files. New batch of Epstein files that's come out. Had a lot going on. Kind of, we'll take a look and see what some of the people are saying about everything that's going on. Maybe give y'all my opinion on what I think about some of it. So before we jump over into that, guys, though, if you don't mind, I'd sure appreciate it. Help me out a lot. Subscribe, like the video, share it, hit that bell notification. Anybody that wants to, I'd sure appreciate it. Help me out a lot. Got the thing scrolling across the bottom right here. It's got Cash App and all that stuff on it. Anybody that can donate, I appreciate it. If you don't, at least like the video and subscribe. But let's jump on over here and see what we got going on. I saw this. It says, you all realize we pay our entire government to do nothing but commit crimes against us, then cover them up. I mean, that sizes it up right there, don't it? Seems like the more we learn, the more it just aggravates everybody because they're constantly doing something against us. They use our taxpayer money to screw us over. They hide everything from us. Don't tell us nothing that's going on. And then we know something's going on, but we don't know how bad until we actually find out and then realize how bad it is. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. We don't really have representation in this country anymore. It's taxation without any representation. So, but we're going to start standing up as American people and doing something about some of this stuff. But take a look at this guy right here and see what he's got to say. Let's see.
I just watched an interview Trump did about this whole Epstein thing, and he said, I quote, "I think it's time for the country to move on to something else." No, bro. No. We brought you in to clean house. We brought you in to bring the noose back. We brought you in to clean the swamp, enter whatever fucking funny saying you want to say. We brought you in to handle shit. No, we're not moving on. We've moved on from fucking everything else. We're not moving on from this shit. Because it's black and fucking white at this point in time. That some people need to fucking hang. So one of two things is going to happen. You're either complicit with everybody and you wanted to move on because you got some big fucking problems ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to do the job that we brought you in to do, which is hang some people. You and Dana can do it in the front yard of the White House before or after the UFC event. We don't much give a fuck. However, if you don't start putting some people in nooses soon, and I mean like soon, shit's gonna pop off in this country, cuz. Shit is gonna pop off in this country. Because there are a lot of people like me that just don't give a fuck anymore. You're taxing us to death. Fucking, we're done. You understand that? There's a lot of people like me that love life. We love living. We love being alive. We love our children. We love our family. But at the end of the day, the route that we're going, we're already slaves. You think we want to let our kids be even more indentured servants to you motherfuckers in DC.
Well,
And you can call me crazy, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, but I know goddamn well that there are millions upon millions upon millions that think exactly what I'm saying right now. They have no fucking problem going out in a blaze of glory to ensure the next generation isn't fucked the same way that we're fucked by some of you scumbags. I brought you in, Trump, to do a fucking job. You better fucking start doing it. I just
yeah, I agree 100% with that. We were made a lot of promises when this last election, and a lot of the people I talk to, they can say the economy's doing so well and it's done ever breaking records and all this stuff all they want. But a lot of people I talk to, you know, we can't tell it. People are, working all week, and then when it's time to pay bills, and it's by the time you pay your bills, you got light bills, water bills, gas bills, all these bills. That's for some reason or another they're seen several different people showing that their electric bills went from like $200 a month to like $800 a month. That's people can't afford that. Um, their house payments, nobody can afford to buy a house anymore. A new vehicle, nobody can afford to buy one really. But even if you did, I don't know why anybody'd want to buy one because they've got so much crap on them now. Um, you never know when it's going to run you off the road. You have to pay subscriptions for everything that used, like your navigation that used to come on your new vehicle. Now you have to pay subscriptions for all that. I seen one where they was talking about having to pay a subscription just to be able to hook their Bluetooth, your phone to the radio. And I think it was in a Jeep or something other. And they're putting kill switches in them now, I guess. Um, I seen Ford, I believe it was just talking about putting something on theirs to where whenever you speed over the speed limit, like anything more than 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, your own vehicle would snitch you out to the police. Who the hell wants to pay for a vehicle that's going to snitch them out every time they go 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit? Not me. So, you know, things are supposed to be getting better, and they're not. Um, we're working harder. Our money's worth less. Bills are more. Groceries are more. People just can't afford to live in this country anymore. And it's not because of anything that we did. It's because of all these elites and these rich millionaires and billionaires. They're squeezing everybody out. They want every dime for themselves. And it's just piss on us little people. We're the ones that do all the work. We're the ones that make everything, build everything, do all the hard jobs, all the dirty jobs, everything, while they sit back and just rake in the money and sit up in DC and backslap each other and eat $400 steaks, laughing about how they've got us fighting with each other and tearing each other apart. When really they're all just, whether people like it or not, folks, are the both wings are the part of the same bird. You got your left wing and you got your right wing. They're both attached to the bird, and the bird's shitting on her head. So we've got literally pedophiles running this country. And these people have done some awful, awful crap. And then that's not counting all the fraud and the stealing of money from the taxpayers. I mean, it's what once a year, it's so many trillions of dollars that's went missing from the Pentagon, USAID, and all this other crap that Doge found. It was billions and billions and billions of dollars that this government's hemorrhaging. Nobody knows where it went. Now, if you have $5 that you're short on your taxes or you don't know where it went, they're going to come after you. Or, they're putting all this Palantir and all this crap in because they want to control everything about your life. They want you to have a digital ID to be able to go online, digital currency and stuff, so that they can track where every penny of your money goes. They'll even be telling you if you want to go buy a new gun, the bank will tell you no, you cannot use your money to go buy a gun. It's not an approved purchase. If you do something that they don't approve of, or you say something bad about somebody in the government or whatever, and they don't like it, then they shut off your bank accounts. You lose your um, social credit score credits, or you don't have the credits to buy, hamburger meat or a steak or whatever. You have to, buy something else that you don't really like. This control, once they get this control, this noose around our neck, we'll never get it off. We have to do something about it now, and we're running out of time to do it. You got your what I call your cult brain rot groups on each side. You got the way left and the way right. And like right now, Trump's in office. Republicans have control of government. The way left, nothing they ever do is good or right. You got the way right that nothing they do is ever wrong or bad. But us real patriots, us real Americans in the middle, we're not cult brain rotted. We know what we deal with when we, go out our door to go to work, when we go to the grocery store, pay our bills, when we're sitting around the kitchen table, figuring up how we're going to stretch this dime into a dollar to pay this, or whatever the bills are. We know what kind of shape we're in. And just hearing them say, "Oh, well, we're breaking records. The economy's doing so good." It's just nobody knows it because we're not talking about it enough. It wouldn't matter if you talked about it or not. If it was better, we would know it. It's not. Some things are better, yes, but a lot are not. And then on top of that, you've got all these people that's made millions or billions of dollars getting rich off our backs for the last, you know, 4 to 6 years. Uh, that should be in prison. Like Fauci and Biden and all them, their bunch. Obama's. I mean, the list keeps going on and on and on. All these people in these Epstein files, all of them should be at least, at very least, in prison. But they're all rich as crap, getting richer, living the high life. None of them's been held accountable. And if you say anything about it, then you've got people like Dan Bongina that wants to, call you names and say that you're some kind of leftist or Marxist or black pill or loser or whatever he wants to call people. And then when you say something to him, he cries and blocks you on Twitter or something. We've got to start standing together and putting a stop to this stuff. These people up here in D.C., There's people in the government, they don't care about us. They got this side's getting their people to fight with this people on our side and tear each other apart, and then they sit back and laugh and just rake in the money while we just sit and fight. And by the time we realize what's going on, it's going to be too late. We're going to be screwed. Like I said, the noose is going to be around our neck. So we've got to stop fighting with each other. We got to start standing together as Americans and putting a stop to this crap. These people need to be took out of the government. If they ain't going to go in there and do the job like they said they were going to and do the job that they promised that they would do, then they don't need to be in there. And we need to start making sure that um, these people that shouldn't be in our government because they foreigners and they come over here and they don't want to assimilate. They want to come over here and pretty much try to take over our country by getting in the government and changing our country to be the Middle East or wherever. These people should not be in our government. A lot of these people that are born here don't really care to make sure that they do what's best for our country. So these foreigners definitely ain't going to. So we need to start standing together. You know, we're brothers and sisters in this American family. And when we go down, we're all going down. It's not going to be the right go down or the left go down. It's going to be all of us. And I don't want that. I want my kids and I want your kids to have an America to grow up in like I had when I was a kid. And every day we're getting way away from that. It's time we turn it around. Let's see what this young lady has to say.
And there's no, like, it doesn't matter how much you know because there's nothing you can do about it. So it's like, dude, everything is fucking fake. Our presidents are literally chosen for us. Our elections are fucking rigged and literally don't matter anymore. Jeffrey Epstein somehow won the Powerball twice. The fucking lottery's fake. The Rothschilds wrote all the fucking books. Our history's fucking a complete fucking lie the deeper you get into that. Everyone they said was evil and fucking crazy actually kind of, I think, had some fucking points. And then all the people that have been accusing people of doing evil shit were the most evil fucking people the whole time. So you know what? Just fucking log off. Who cares? Just go enjoy your life. There's nothing's gonna happen to these people. They're just fucking with us at this point. Both sides are fucking shit.
Well, she ain't wrong. Like I said, once again, she ain't wrong. Things just keep getting crazier and crazier in this country. And then we got this here. This Jeffrey Epstein email exchange where they talk about a little girl praying in bed about Jesus saving her life. They are demons. And it's kind of small, but see if I can tell what it says here. Uh, okay, it said that she could feel God's presence around her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her. and he helped save her life. Whoops. That was Jeffrey to somebody. And then whoever it was wrote back and said, you should dress up like, you pretty much you should dress up like Jesus the next time. And then, uh, of course, the the old Jesus, I'm coming. The old Jesus, I'm coming trick. These people are evil, man. That's all there are to it. They're evil. And why why are these people still out here? Why are these people still out here to walk around? And make no mistake, Jeffrey Epstein's still out here walking around. I've seen some pictures that look like Jeffrey Epstein walking around over in Israel. I don't know for sure, maybe, maybe not, but it does look like him. And I've seen some pictures people were putting online, and it definitely looks like it's possible that the body that was supposed to have been Jeffrey in the prison looks an awful lot like Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham. And he died 2 months, 2 months before Epstein was supposed to have died. Let's see. There's a lot of this stuff that's going on over in the UK right now. We'll cover that in a different video. Um, yeah, here we go.
I'm sorry, we're not mad enough. We used to literally be a group of people who overthrew an entire government because they raised a tax 3% on a freaking sipping liquid, okay? And now we have governments who are saying, hey, we are taking your children, we are eating your children, and doing so many other unspeakable things, and we're not mad enough. We are simply not mad enough. So if you're like me and you're really, really pissed off and you're ready to alter the course of human history, can we talk? I'm sorry, we're not mad enough. We used to literally be a group of people who overthrew an entire government because they raised a tax 3% on a freaking sipping liquid.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. You know, our founding fathers, they started a war that led to this country being established over a 3 cent tax on tea. And here we are taxed to death and never considered. And we just keep taking it. They keep telling us that, um, peaceful protesting, um, that's what we do in America. We peacefully protest. That anything else is it's not American. Well, actually, the most American thing about this country is the fact that a bunch of patriots grabbed their guns and went and fought an evil government, and they kicked their ass and built this country. And the government they fought compared to this government that we're living under right now, I mean, it wasn't nothing. We're living under such evil now, folks, that it's not even. It's unreal. It's a lot of the stuff's happening, but when you hear somebody say it out loud or you say it out loud, it's not even believable. But we sit back and sit by every day and do nothing while it keeps happening. I've seen some documentaries that was done on a lot of this stuff that wasn't censored. It wasn't blurred out. Them hacking stuff, hacking people up. They're putting this stuff in our food. I won't eat out. I don't go to restaurants. Um, a lot of the stuff that I eat, we grow in our gardens and stuff, or we grow our own food. What we don't grow, we go and buy it, from a slaughterhouse or something where we know what it is, where it come from, because we never have any idea what's in our food anymore, and they pretty much tell you what it is. When you watch the commercials, when they take a boy and dip him in a gravy lake, and he comes up a chicken nugget, they're telling you what's in your food. It's crazy. I mean, how much longer are we going to sit around and let this evil keep growing in this country? Because eventually it's going to get to a point where we can't fight back. We won't have the option to fight back. So we're going to start deciding what we want to do. Because we ain't got much longer to figure it out. This is Max Lowen. What can we do about the Epstein disclosure? So I guess this was one of the Epstein's victims or something, I believe.
Hi, everyone. In view of all the things coming out of the Epstein files, I'm getting a question a lot, which is, what can we do? I think the first thing we can do, because once you realize that the world is run by a satanic cult composed of psychopath, PDF file, parasitic elites, it's overwhelming because they do control all the institutions, or they've infiltrated them. So all our global agencies and our governments and our militaries and our intelligence and our media and our medical and our educational, all these systems are run by them, which is why anytime any exposure happens, there are, of course, no arrests or no justice. The justice system is, of course, run by them as well. So it feels overwhelming and it feels like we're powerless, but we're not, okay? Because they are a parasitic class and they need us. We are their host. We are the ones connected to the creator, to the life force, to source, to God. So one thing we can do is remember that. Go within, heal our traumas, reconnect to the divine which is within us, and start to deprogram ourselves from their massive mind control. Okay, why are we believing these people? Why are we obeying these people? Why are we giving these people authority over us? So we can stop consenting and complying, and we can come together and unite. Okay, so they've divided and conquered us by political party, race, gender, etc., and that's deliberate. They want us fighting each other so we don't unite to fight the common enemy, which is them, okay? So people are on the streets right now protesting against ICE and, for migrants and against this agenda and that agenda. How about we go out on the streets as a unified force and protest against the trafficking, the violation, and the sacrifice of children that's now emerging from these Epstein files? How about, should these people be able to go in and out of their homes and live comfortably and freely? How about we protest outside of their dwelling places? How about we are outraged and show that outrage? How about we engage in a day-long strike and no one goes to work and no one does anything to support their system? There's many, many ideas such as this that we can do. And I'll leave you with one more. I don't vote because I don't support or consent to the governmental system that is abusing and oppressing me and taking my money. So what if none of us did that anymore? We have to withdraw consent and compliance and participation because without us, they don't exist anymore. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, she's got some decent ideas on some stuff people could do, but these people don't care about your protesting, guys. They don't. You can go out there and scream and holler on the side of the road somewhere, whatever, all you want. They don't care. Um, as long as they've got a monopoly on
Oh, hi,
violence.
Pam Bondi. What are you doing with Keith Frankel? I have a couple questions for you, Pam. How much were the acting lessons? Oh, hi, Pam Bondi. What are you doing with Keith Frankel? I have a couple questions for you, Pam. How much were the acting lessons?
But as long as they've got that monopoly on violence, it don't matter what we do. You see with a lot of the protests that's going on now, and I'll make this clear. I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. I'm not no leftist or whatever your people want to call it, liberal. I'm conservative, and I want a lot of all these illegal aliens in here that are causing Americans to die between DUIs, crashing and killing people's kids, and are wiping out families. You got a lot of them in here that are wanting to rape, murder um, young girls, women, the fraud. I mean, just all the stuff that's going on in our country. And then you got the ones that's coming in here and trying to literally take over this country. So they want to come in and get in office, change our laws and stuff so that uh, America doesn't represent Americans anymore. It represents them. And they're actually winning in places. Um, but at the same time, I don't think I should be out here shoving around on people, attacking people. We have a constitution. They need to do their job within the bounds of that constitution. And if they can't do that, then they shouldn't be doing the job. And that goes not just for ICE agents, but that goes for all federal agents, all cops. I've got a couple videos I'm going to be making maybe tomorrow. It's going to cover some of that with the police. A lot of the cops in this country are getting out of control. And they're supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to serve and protect the American people and protect our constitutional rights, first and foremost. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. The Constitution is the law of the land. That should be the first and foremost thing that is defended no matter what. Because without our Constitution, without our rights, we're screwed. And they have been trying to chip away at our Constitution and our rights for decades. And they've been succeeding, but that's only because a lot of people, and it's mainly on the right, but a lot of people are back to blue no matter what. And you have to, sorry guys, that lady's at the store. Um, that it the old saying, "Back to blue till it happens to you." That's a saying for a reason. I've seen I don't know how many times on the left people will have the stickers on their cars and um, they're um, back to blue. Um, what's it, FOP, whatever the things are. That's showing that they back police, and that's fine. I mean, you can back the police, but when they step out of line, then they should be held accountable for that. And it's to the point nowadays where holding a cop accountable for violating constitutional rights, breaking the law, um, violating their oath, it's impossible, especially with this qualified immunity. I mean, I think there's like 4 states that's got rid of it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you still can't hold them accountable. And if you go and you try to make complaints about them or take them to court, complain to the mayor or their superior officers or your congressman or whoever, nobody wants to listen to you. They don't care. I've seen where people have went over, the police in their towns and go to their town meetings and try to tell their aldermen or their mayors or whoever about how something was done to them, and they're sitting up there just playing on their phones or talking or whatever, not listening to nobody. And as soon as your 2 minutes or your 3 minutes is up, it's up, your time's up. They don't care. That's why I said we have no representation. We have full taxation, zero representation. And that is not American. When your government no longer fears being held accountable by its people, you have tyranny. When the government fears its people, you have liberty. And we have allowed the elites and the government and all these politicians and the police and pretty much the government from head to toe and the elites that control them. We've allowed those people to lull us into just a wussified slumber. And they've taken advantage of it. That's why they lie to us nonstop, constantly. That's why when you find out that this politician has pretty much laundered millions out of the government, and about all of them, just about pretty much, they'll go into the government, um, like AOC or Ilhan Omar and all these others. A lot of them, like I said, pretty much all of them, they'll go into the government broke. Uh, a year later, they're worth $30 million. I mean, how do they do that? I've never made $30 million in a year, and I about guarantee that none of you have neither. So You don't make money like that usually. I won't say ever, but usually 99% of the time, unless you come about it not in the right way. And they're getting it because they're getting rich off of our backs. They lie to us, tell us what we want to hear to get into these offices, and then they sell out their office. They sell out the country and they sell us out to get rich, to get power. And then when we have problems and we come to them, they don't care. They just zone us out and let us run our mouth and complain for 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's your time's up or whatever. I got to go, and they go on. Probably couldn't tell you 2 words that you said, and it's our fault because we've allowed it to happen. We've allowed this to go on. Our parents have allowed this to go on. I do not want this for my kids. I don't want this for your kids. I want the America of old where the people had the power and the government feared the people. I want that America for our kids. I mean, hell, we live in a country where the founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment as a safeguard where the people could not be disarmed, where the people could have everything that the government has. We have supposed to have access to it. A lot of the wars that our country fought, the ships and the cannons and the guns and all this stuff, that didn't wasn't the government that supplied all of that. That was the people that supplied that. The people own this stuff. And we came together and allowed the government to use that. Most of the time because the people were fighting the wars. But now, the one thing that the founding fathers wrote for us to make sure that we always had access to the same weapons and stuff that the government had, so that when the government tried to turn tyrannical against the people, we would have a fighting chance to fight back. That's why it says, shall not be infringed on it. It was meant to be that the government could not limit, regulate, or take away, or anything in any fashion, our Second Amendment right. Who controls that today? The government. The very people that was written to protect us from, we've allowed to control it today. They tell us what guns we can have, what guns we can't. Um, Even something as simple as a silencer to go on the end of, a rifle or a handgun or whatever to protect your hearing. Up until recently, you had to pay $200 tax stamp, just the tax. Then you had to go through all of the hoops that you had to jump through and all the forms and everything else. I mean, you'd have thousands of dollars in that before you even went and bought the silencer. And every time you turn around, ATF and the Democrats mainly are trying to put something on this NFA to where the people don't have access to it. They'll take a trigger and put it on there and say it's a machine gun. That's stupid. It's a trigger. It's not a machine gun. All of that is unconstitutional. But everybody just complies with it and goes along with it. We've literally got the fox guarding the hen house. When are we going to put a stop to this, guys? When are we going to stand up and say no more? This is America. This Constitution was written not to limit the people, but to limit the government. It was meant to tell the government what they can't do and protect the power of the people. And we've allowed the government to bastardize our Constitution and twist it around and use it to tell us what we can and can't do. It was never meant to be that way. And that's why we have what we have today. We have an evil government full of evil PDF files and Satan devil worshippers that are getting rich, selling this country out, not honoring their oath, screwing us over, selling us all out, selling the country, their office, and the people out. While we just sit around, piss and moan and complain about it, but do nothing. We got to put the fear back into this government. That's the only option we've got. Because I promise you, you can go and you can protest all day, every day, till the end of your life. They don't care. They'll drive right past you and laugh at you while you're standing out there protesting. And if for some reason you do become an irritant to them and they don't want to listen to you or see you no more, they'll use the force of their government. Because that's all. That's the only way you get anything or get anywhere is by force. And right now, the government has the monopoly on force. That's why uh, that's why anytime that Americans have come together and you see them go out, AR-15s hanging off of their chests, handguns on their hips, you see the government kind of ease back off in their place because they know if the people stand up and stand together and show them we're not going to be pushed around, we're not going to let them shoot us, beat us, jail us, take everything we have, that we will fight back, they back down. And that's the very reason why they keep us fighting each other constantly. Red versus blue, gay versus straight, this versus that. It's all bullshit. It's just something to keep us fighting each other. Because as long as we're fighting and tearing each other apart, we're not fighting them. And people have to get this crap through their head. Black and white, we shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be standing alongside each other. They keep you keep getting tore up over this oppressor and the white man holding me down. Nobody's holding you down. Not as far as regular people, anyway. The only people that's holding you down is maybe the white people in the government and the black people in the government. These black people in the government, Democrat Party, Republican Party, wherever, they don't care about you. They don't care about us. They care about each other to the point as far as it's a big club and we ain't in it. They want to keep getting more money and more power. And then they want to do all their little evil Satanist bullshit that they do, and their little rituals and stuff, and then sit around and laugh at how they keep us twisted up and tearing each other apart. How much longer are we going to let them do it? How much longer are we going to let this stuff happen until we say no more? Because that's all they said every day and laugh at us. Just like this video right here. Pam Bondi's one of the most worthless people I've ever seen in my life. She hasn't done a damn thing since she's been in government. She likes to go up there and talk a big game, and I'm gonna do this, but she don't do shit. She don't do shit. Just like Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, for the most part, they might have done a little bit of stuff as far as regular crime or whatever when they was in the FBI, but as far as all the stuff, the big long list of stuff that they promised they were going to do when they got in there, they didn't do shit. You didn't do shit, Dan. Cass. Cram Blondie, she didn't do shit. They sit up there and they lick Trump's ass all day about how Trump's just so great. Couldn't do this without Trump's leadership. Or Cass is licking Bondi's ass about how Bondi's just such a great attorney general, and I don't even care. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of these people. They get in these offices. I'm sick of people going out and running for office and promising to do this and promising to clean this mess up and straighten this out. And then once you put them in there, they go in there and they don't do shit. Somebody should literally take most of these people and throw their ass in prison, or at the very least, throw their ass out of these offices. If you don't do your job, you should be thrown out. If you don't do your job, or you're out here doing some of this evil shit that's being done, at the very least, you should be thrown in prison. Or maybe even what Tim Burchett says should be done. And I'll show you that in here in just a second. Let's get to this girl real quick.
Oh, hi, Pam Bondi. What are you doing with Keith Frankel? I have a couple questions for you, Pam. How much were the acting lessons? Do the Epstein victims that you cried with know that you're friends with Keith Frankel? Why was Keith Frankel and Jeffrey Epstein talking about body boxes on February 10th, 2010? You've read the files, so I'm sure you can tell us. If Jeffrey Epstein was such a monster, Pam, how come Keith went to his house so many times? One thing that was mentioned in the Epstein files is children being trafficked out of Ukraine. Keith Frankel and his family run a children's home that takes children out of Ukraine. You need to cut the shit, Pam. You need to cut the shit. Oh, hi, Pam Bondi.
Need to cut the shit. Yep, a lot of people need to cut the shit. And this brother right here, he said,
I
tells
don't
it
give
too.
a fuck about Democrats being on the list. They're abusing children. I don't give a fuck about Republicans being on the list. They're abusing children. I don't give a fuck if they're left wing, right wing, liberal, conservative, black, white, Hispanic, straight, gay, trans, what the fuck ever. They're abusing children. Who the fuck cares about your politics when you're abusing children? If someone was abusing your child, would you give a fuck what their politics was? If so, you a dumb motherfucker. Cause I wouldn't give a fuck. They're abusing children. And you know what? Just release all the files. Release the files, release the photos, put everything out. Because all we going to do is sit here and argue. We're Democrats. We're Republicans. Who the fuck cares? They're abusing children, you dumb motherfuckers.
Yep.
To prison for breaking the law. All throughout the Epstein files are mountains of evidence of the most grotesque crimes humanly possible, and not one person has been arrested yet. But I see people all across the internet posting a document from the Epstein files stating that Trump was the very first one to call the cops on Epstein. Like he's been vindicated from the files or something. Well, I have a news flash for you bootlickers out there. If Donald Trump is not enforcing his DOJ to start arresting these pedophile motherfuckers, then he's complicit in the crimes that they committed. He's the commander in chief, right? So why isn't he getting on national television and enforcing his Department of Justice, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, to start filing indictments? Why is he playing stupid like he doesn't know what's being released in these files? There is no in between. Arrests need to happen right now. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not next week. They need to happen right now. They are literally sacrificing children, putting children in drums filled with acid, like what the cartel does, and they are videotaping the rape and murder of children. There is literal files being written to Epstein telling him that they loved the torture video. How many files have come out talking about pizza? And we all know what pizza means. What Donald Trump needs to be paying attention to is what people are saying on social media. We are not going to let this one go. In fact, if we don't start seeing accountability soon, I can guarantee you people by the thousands are gonna burn this bitch down. We are not going along with the program anymore. We are not funding a government who is controlled by satanic ritualistic pedophiles. Some of you need to grow a set of fucking nuts, okay? Because when the tax revolt was first being discussed, everybody's, oh, they're gonna come get my assets. There's been people that have been filing exempt for years and have not had their things taken from them. You need to do your research and get with the right people who understand the way that this works. And they're all across social media. No, I can't stop filing taxes. I gotta be a good little tax bitch. Well, what are you? You keep complaining about everything. Now look what's in the Epstein files. Rape, torture, murder, rituals, making children disappear, child trafficking, CSAM, a whole list of it, and we're being ran by them. So what are you willing to do? Are you going to continue going along with it? Funding them, making them stronger, letting them steal our tax dollars? Do something. Everybody's always like, what can I do to get in the fight? Start there. How are you going to have a revolution if you can't even stop paying your taxes because you're fucking scared?
Yep.
Are we all seeing what's being revealed? Are we all paying attention to the things that are coming out from these files? Because I'm worried that I'm going to have to try and explain to somebody what I'm hearing and seeing, and I'm going to sound like I'm experiencing psychosis because I feel like I'm experiencing psychosis. I can't even sleep. I'm so fucking angry. I'm petrified. This is some of the most vile, most demonic shit I have ever even fathomed. Like, it is unfathomable. And I feel like people are not paying attention. I feel like we are underreacting. I feel like I'm very worried that when we are exposed to such distressing information, like, we are being overloaded with the most appalling news.
What happened? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Sometimes X messes up. The internet shows us good connection, but you got to hear most of it. Here's what Tim Burchett says. Congressman Tim Burchett says anyone found guilty of sexual crimes against children should be publicly hanged. Tim is a congressman from the great state of Tennessee, where I live. He represents the Knoxville area, which is not too far from where I am, about an hour or so. Um, but yeah, I completely agree with him. Look, guys, this video's went on a little longer than I wanted it to, but we're going to get out of this what we put into it, what we allow. Right now, we're allowing a lot. You got people that practically put Trump on a pedestal with Jesus. Not me. Um, I mean, you got other people on the other side that, you know, put their LGBT element of P crap and their pronouns or, you know, fighting ICE for these illegals or whatever it is on their side that they put up there. How about we stand together and fight for each other? Fight for our kids' future. Hell, fight for our own future. Because we're not going to have one pretty soon. If it keeps going the way it's going, it's literally getting to where we're getting towards 1984 territory. They're going to control your money. They're going to control your vehicle. They're going to control everything, every little inch of your life. They're going to control it. There's not going to be anything in your life that they don't know about and that they don't have control of. And when you step out of line, they're going to slap you for it. And there's not going to be nothing we can do about it. We have to stop letting them keep us fighting each other. We have to start finding a way to come back together as Americans again, like we used to, before everybody started making their politics their whole life. And we got to start, instead of fighting with each other, we got to start standing together as a people and fighting them and turn this everybody fearing the government and putting the fear back into the government so that they fear the people, and telling them, no, we don't want this, and standing on it. That's the only way. But I appreciate it. That's all I had for today. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you do. I'm trying to get this channel going. Um, subscribe, like the video, share it. Anybody that wants to donate, the things are right here. And let's start turning this around while we can. I appreciate it. Well, I'll see y'all on the next one.